peeking at the presents. But right now, it is LeBron James who is at the podium speaking to reporters as we speak. It is a developing story that we will bring you to right now.
I want to know how you kind of got, like how they earned that, you know, and how you remember all of them.
No, it's not an earned thing. I mean, it just kind of happens. I have no idea how I remember the majority of them, if not all of them. I have no idea, you know, but it's definitely a chemistry thing that I started a long time ago with my teammates, and you know, been blessed enough to be able to have the mind to be able to remember them all. You know, even with former teammates that's not my teammates anymore.
On my game, you told Steve Nash that keeping your mind right and your mind sharp was just as important, if not more important, than what you do for your body. What do the playoffs demand of you mentally, and what do you do to sort of meet that?
I mean, everything. The playoffs demand everything from you mentally. I mean, obviously, you know, the physical toll that it's going to take because the games ramp up, the intensity ramps up, the physicality ramps up. The referees in the league allow us to play more physical, you know. In the postseason, so your body takes a toll, but mentally being able to have that mind, you know, sharp throughout the course of a series, no matter if it's good or going bad, you always got to try to stay even keeled throughout the course of a postseason in each series if you're able to advance. So, absolutely.
LeBron, I think since Julius Randle got back, I think they're 16-4. What have you seen that they're doing well since he's come back?
Everything. Very, very, you know, good team and super well coached.
LeBron the other day, he mentioned that he keep this high, and it seemed like that was bad. And after you guys were healthy, especially in the last stretch after most of the seconds, were you encouraged from how you guys put that on the floor? How important is that going to be once game 1 starts tomorrow?
You got to be able to defend. You got to be able to get stops, you know, in the postseason. And you know, we have a system that we've been working on, you know, throughout the whole course of the season. And you know, it's up to us to go out there and execute that. You know, I think Coach and the staff, they put us in position to give us the best game plan they believe that gets us a victory, and it's up to us to go out and execute that.
I know that if you're in the playoffs, you feel like you've got a chance, but what does it particularly mean for you after 22 years, 40 on this planet, to have this sort of opportunity with this group as the 3 seed? I guess how energizing is that for you?
I mean, it's a blessing. I don't take it for granted to be able to play in the postseason at my age and how many years I've played in this game. So to be a 1 of 16 teams, to go in with this team and know what we're capable of, you know, all you can do is ask for is a chance to be able to compete at the highest level and be able to compete for the ultimate thing, and that's the Larry O'Brien trophy. So, you know, you just don't take it for granted.
You know what championship teams are made of. Are there the ingredients in this room to be a championship team?
After the Houston win, both Austin and Luka said, hey, we're about winning championships. The man who's won several. What do you like about this team going into the postseason?
Well, I mean, obviously, you want to be healthy going into a postseason run. That's most important. And then you want to be able to be playing at a high level, you know, for the majority of the season. Being in like, you know, must-win games, going down the stretch, playoff type intensity games, and we had that. You know, so. But at the end of the day, I mean, so I could talk as much as you guys want me to talk, but the game is won in between the 4 lines. I don't give a damn how much you know about a team, how much they know about you, all the talking. It's not about that. It's about once you get on the floor, the game is won in between the 4 lines. So get a game plan, you're going to execute it. They're going to try to stop our game plan, vice versa. That's what it comes down to.
Last two.
You got to experience the championship with Anthony Edwards this summer. What did you learn about him?
Hannah's amazing. Unbelievable basketball junkie. Loves to play the game of basketball. Great kid. And all the success he's got so far throughout his young career has been awesome to see. He's put the work in.
Dave McMenamin.
21 games so far between you and Luka. What layers have you been able to find offensively compared to the initial chemistry?
Offensively, give Luka the ball, and if we stay ready, we never got to get ready. All right, appreciate it.
Well, LeBron James is heading into his 18th postseason. There he was talking live ahead of Game 1. LeBron is the all-time leader in points, games, and wins in the playoffs, and he has more of all three of the Wolves franchise does in their history. Leading the Wolves, Anthony Edwards, who LeBron just had high praise for, he raises his play in the postseason. He raises his scoring output by nearly 4 points in the playoffs and has the highest career average by any Wolves player in the postseason. One thing that could decide the series is the front court play. The Lakers rotation really only uses Jackson Hayes in big minutes. It's a stark contrast from the Wolves. Here's Redick and what he thinks of that matchup.
I know a lot of people don't like the numbers, but the numbers a lot of times speak more than, over a long period of time, the numbers speak more than the eye test. It's going to be up to us to be able to be consistent with our approach, and yes, I'm going to, just like in our career, I'm very likely to be crossed over, very likely to people are going to hit some tough shots over me, and then I might get dunked on, and all that stuff might happen, but let's see what happens over the course of, hundreds and hundreds of possessions.
Okay, so we've seen the Rudy Luka movie before, even if the jerseys were different. And JJ Redick, he had a theory on why Luka loves this matchup so much you do. He says that Luka likes to play against the best in the world, and he's going up against a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He thinks no one can guard him. What do you see in this matchup?
Well, we know the playoffs is all about adjustments, who can make them on the fly and who can't. Luka thrives against drop coverage. He's about 1.14 points per possession against the drop coverage. Rudy lives in the drop coverage 64% of the time. So if we look right here and we pause it, Luka already sees too much with Rudy being dropped at 6'8". He puts his body in front of the defender. Right now, he creates that 2-on-1 matchup. This is when Rudy gets in trouble as Gafford rolls to the rim full speed. He actually bumps into Rudy. He crosses over because he's so big and he throws a lob. Once he gets Rudy to drop his hip, Rudy's at a disadvantage. Now we say it again. We shoot it right here. Lively sets the screen. Rudy has already dropped that hip. He's already in trouble right now. So now we create that space with our 6'8" size. We keep that defender on my back. We hold it, we get through the screen, we Euro step, and we still throw the lob. He is going to thrive against drop coverage if he has Jackson Hayes in the game with him. If I'm Minnesota, I match Rudy minutes against Jackson Hayes, but instead of being in a drop, I get up and press him a little bit. I make him hit Jackson Hayes, and I make Jackson Hayes beat me and make him be the playmaker against those guys.
Right. I do wonder how much they're going to go to Jackson Hayes in this series. It's a conversation we're going to get into in just a minute. But on the other side of the ball, no player, was double-teamed more this season than Anthony Edwards, but that's not really the Lakers' game. How do you think they're going to try to defend him?
Shrink every elbows. Don't let him see any open driving lanes. 3 guys in front of him. And if we look at it right now, he comes off, we switch, we got Gabe Vincent, but we pause it right here. We have a triangle. We have Vanderbilt here. We have Reeves in the corner. He is seeing 3 bodies right now. So there's no driving lanes. All he can do is drive into a defender and spray for an open shot. Those are the guys that the Lakers are going to take their chance on beating them. No disrespect, but we will let anybody but him beat us. Now we said it with DiVincenzo. We have Austin Reeves, who we might think is a weaker defender, but watch Vanderbilt pull up here to the elbow right now. We're already shrinking that other elbow. So right now, this is almost like a 3-2 that he's looking at, a 3-2 zone that he's kind of looking at. The Lakers are passing guys through. You make other guys beat you. If I'm Minnesota, the adjustment is to go small. I'm flashing I'm flashing Julius Randle to the middle. I'm getting McDaniels on the baseline, and I'm putting shooters in the corner. That way, when you get the ball to the middle, the Lakers have to react to the scoring guy in the middle. You have McDaniels on the baseline for the lob. You got shooters in the corner, and that's how you got to attack that 3-2 zone. And it's not a man. It just looks like a man.
Right, and that's how you see Anthony Edwards is able to actually raise his game, his scoring output against a team like the Los Angeles Lakers. And I know the Lakers, they're getting a lot of shine in this series, and it is for a good reason. The lights are just brighter in Los Angeles. But Minnesota has been one of the hottest teams in the league to close out the season here. We heard Ann Edwards say, this is just how we like it. We want them to be talking about the other guys. If you're the Timberwolves, how are you approaching this series?
I think they kind of like that everybody is going against them, doesn't think that they can win, because, we've talked a lot about the Clippers. The Clippers finished the season 18-3. How about the Wolves finishing 17-4 to get into this 6th seed? That was a real thing that they needed to do. They underachieved early in the season after the Karl Towns trade. They also had some significant injuries to Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. But they really were a great team down the stretch. And they've got a lot going for them. They don't have necessarily the star power of Luka and LeBron, but they've got some things that they've been doing really well coming into this series. I think they come into L.A. with some confidence that they're being overlooked.
During that 17-4 stretch, Julius Randle made his return, And just the way he's playing, there's a different energy to him. In that stretch, he's averaging right here, I have with me, 18 points, 7 rebounds, almost 6 assists a game. And to me, it's the efficiency. 52% from the field, 40% on threes. In a lot of ways, this might be the best overall season, and this might sound crazy, of his career because he's impact winning. He's had to completely change his game around Anthony Edwards. We know he's been on all NBA teams. He's been on all-star teams, but he has had to take a back seat. He's had to be a playmaker. He's had to really change his game. And for me, it's seeing the energy that he's playing with. And he's embracing trying to rebound and play around Anthony Edwards.
I think that Julius Randle could be the swing piece in this series. Do the Lakers have a good defensive, physical matchup for him? Real quick, UD, I just wanted to go back to this. You said that the Timberwolves, they have a size advantage in this matchup, but they may actually go small. Does that play to the Lakers' advantage if they have to make that adjustment here?
Well, you got to figure that there's only been so many minutes played with Jackson Hayes at the 5. I think the Lakers like to go with LeBron James at the 5, so I think that will help Minnesota. And also, you want to get Rudy Gobert out of the game if you're Minnesota, because once again, 64% in the drop coverage, and Luka thrives in that. So there will be minutes for Rudy in this, but I think you have to really play that game of going small in and out with Jackson Hayes. You want to match Rudy's minutes with Jackson Hayes.
Especially because they found some success with that Reeves, LeBron, Rui, Dorian Finney-Smith, Luka lineup. It's a small sample size, but on both ends of the floor, they have had success against even bigger teams. More on this matchup still to come on NBA Today, but we need to get to tonight's play-in games. Ja Morant didn't participate in practice yesterday as he continues to deal with his ankle sprain. Will he be ready to go tonight? Shams has the latest. And Luka Doncic, he sat down with me for his first extensive one-on-one interview since being traded. New details on what happened. So let's focus on the little Eastern Conference side of the bracket, coast to coast, or just one coast up and down. The lore of Indiana and Milwaukee, it continues. We had Ballgate, 4-point play game winners, a rematch of last year's first round, and who can forget the in-season tournament? Tyrese hit the Dame Selly. With Dame's return imminent, UD, what's your prediction on this series?
I'm always going with the team with a chip on their shoulder. Last year, Milwaukee didn't get it done. They get Dame back. That's encouraging. So I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks on this one.
The Indiana Pacers, though, they are, what did we say about the Heat that one year? Dangerously looming, maybe even one step above all of that. Let's go to Paolo Banchero and the Magic here. They have a tall task against Jason Tatum and the defending champs. Since Paolo entered the league, though, the Magic, they're 6-4 against the Celtics, the second best record by any team, trailing only the Thunder. Brian, you giving Orlando a puncher's chance?
A chance to win the series? No. But they will come in, as you mentioned, with some confidence, and confidence is important for an underdog. They also were pretty good last year in the playoffs. They were up and down in that series with the Cavs, but they won 7 games. Their starting lineup just is so inconsistent scoring. It's hard for me to believe they can go up with Boston. But, hey, I will give them an opportunity to take a game. If they win more than that, I'll be impressed.
And tonight, Trae Young and Tyler Hero, they're going to fight for their playoff lives, a chance to take on the Cavaliers here. These two teams, they split the regular season series, the Heat winning both matchups since the trade deadline. Udonis, take us back there. You're in the locker room. What's your message to this Heat team?
I'm looking around and I'm telling those guys, listen, 95% of this league, let's go to the rope when they lose 10 in a row. We didn't. We built some grit. We built some character. We've come too far to stop now. Let's continue to go. Let's be the first 10 seed to get into the playoffs.
If that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. And see that little red he's wearing? Yeah, we caught that. A little Heat nod today for the Heat legend, Udonis Haslem. Let's take a look at today's electric moment, brought to you by Hyundai. Wednesday night, Anthony Davis dominated the Kings. Finished with a play-in career-high 27 points. Davis has won all 4 games in his play-in career, scoring at least 20 points in all 4, tallying exactly 3 blocks in his last 3. And Anthony Davis has only played 10 games with the Mavericks so far because of injuries after the trade. But the early returns show that he impacts winning. Well, duh. Dallas is 7-3 when Davis suits up. They're looking to extend their season 1 more win this evening. Now, tonight, Anthony Davis looks to get past a Memphis Grizzlies team that may be less than 100%. We go to Memphis now and say howdy to our reporter, Tim McMahon. The Mavericks, Tim, they were impressive against the Kings. What's their mindset heading into this one?
Howdy, Malika. Listen, Klay Thompson, after that sweet shooting night in Sacramento, exercising those demons, said, we're still alive. We get to go to Memphis. And they believe they're going to get to go to Oklahoma City. They've got their bags packed. They've got their hotels booked. This is a team that, it's been a tumultuous season, obviously, but they're upbeat. They're confident. They're as healthy as they've been for a while. Daniel Gafford was asked, hey, question about about maybe the season ending tonight. He said, I'm not answering that question. We don't plan on losing. So that's the Mavericks mindset.
All right, so on the other side of things, because the Mavericks sound pretty confident, Ja Morant dealing with that sprained ankle. What more can you tell us about his status tonight?
Well, he is dealing with significant soreness There's still swelling in that. I'm not sure, frankly, there's much of a chance that Ja Morant is not or will miss this game. I mean, listen, if this is March, he's not playing tonight. But this isn't March. It's the NBA's equivalent of March Madness. It's win or go home. All signs point to Ja Morant doing everything he can to gut that out, to give it his best shot for the Grizzlies with the season on the line. And I can tell you this, he's at the very top of the Dallas Mavericks defensive game plan.
Tim McMahon, thank you so very much. This is where we say adios amigo and howdy back here in studio to our Shams Charania. Shams, can you peel back the curtain just a little bit more? Obviously, this is one of those games that Ja Morant wants to do everything he can to be back out on the floor. But what is his recovery process looking like here?
So in the 24 hours after that ankle sprain against the Warriors, Ja Morant underwent an MRI on Thursday. It revealed no structural damage, but he has a severe ankle sprain, is my understanding. And he underwent an injection as well on Thursday for the swelling and for the pain that's in that ankle. But he is telling people around the Grizzlies he is going to be playing tonight. He's determined to play. Like Tim McMahon just said, doubt he plays if this is a regular season game. This is a single elimination game for the Grizzlies. The team will evaluate him pregame tonight. So I think around 40, 60 minutes of the clock, we will know definitively whether Ja Morant will play. But this is someone underwent an MRI, severe ankle sprain. He's got significant swelling. He also had an injection on Thursday as well.
An hour before, we're going to know if he's going to give it a go. Before we move to big picture, real quick here, Brian, how much does that concern you for Memphis' chances?
Severely, because I don't doubt he's going to play, but how he can play is real question. You know, he had 18 points when he sprained his ankle. He played down the stretch of the playing game in San Francisco the other night, but he was not effective. He had 2 baskets. So they may have to take a look and see what it looks like out there early on. Single elimination situation. If he doesn't have it, yank him. On the other hand, if he's able to gut it out, it could be a big moment for him. We'll see.
I mean, they've played well without him in the past, and this is a situation where you got pesky guys, Najee Marshall, Caleb Martin. You have all these guys that's going to really get up in them and force them to go one way or another and do different things out there tonight. So you have to see early, but I look at Dallas, and I like what Dallas is doing right now. I like the situation they're in. Nico needs this win, and this can help. Winning cures everything. And also they have a chip on their shoulder. And I'm giving the advantage to Jason Kidd. That's where the advantage goes, to Jason Kidd and his coaching staff. They've seen everything. They've been through a lot right now, and I think right now they have the advantage over there.
When you're looking at who has more at stake down the stretch of this, obviously the season is on the line for both of these teams, but the Memphis Grizzlies, they were second in the Western Conference even into February and early March here. They fired their head coach. To go from all of that to not even making the playoffs, Brian, that feels like, I don't want to call it a failure, but that's not what this team envisioned.
The back end of this Mavericks season was not defined by the Luka trade. It was defined by the Kyrie Irving injury. Once that happened, really all the expectations for the Mavericks were off the table. Even getting this far, they've done a pretty decent job. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, quite different. The Grizzlies thought this was going to be a complete pivot season when they got Ja Morant back and other guys that were out all of or most of last year. They retrofitted their playing style. They retrofitted their coaching staff. It has not worked out. They were in 4th place, Malika, when they made the coaching change. Now they're in 8th, facing a single elimination play-in game. This is a more important situation, a more important season to save for the Grizzlies than the Mavericks at this point.
I'm calling this the barbecue game. It's Memphis style versus Texas style, and it all goes down tonight on ESPN. Still to come on NBA Today, my exclusive conversation with Luka Doncic. I asked him whether or not he expects to don the purple and gold for the rest of his career. Wait until you hear his response. And Cade Cunningham gearing up for his playoff debut. So we're going to count down the top 5 debuts of all time. Don't miss our playoff list. Plus, UD, what day of the week is it? It's Friday. So that means it's our favorite game of the week. Who said that? The best.
But there is one thing that we know about Luka. He loves to rise to these emotional moments.
Doncic goes all the way, lays it up and in. Oh, Doncic locked in from the opening tip.
He's giving it to him from every spot on the floor.
45 for Doncic. Talk about your storybook returns.
To be back with the fans that I spent 6.5 years with was just unbelievable for me.
The swap for Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis is one of the most shocking trades in NBA history to date. And after that, it took some time for Luka to find his groove here in Los Angeles and be ready to talk about what happened. But now he's broken his silence. From the moment his manager called to tell him that he was now a Laker to how he feels about everything today, here is my exclusive interview with Luka Doncic. Luka, what's your good side? Or both. To say both sides are my good side.
I thought I would show you the souvenir from that night.
Oh, yeah, he's still there.
You hang up the phone the night you're traded, and you threw it.
Yes.
Do you have that phone?
Yeah.
You still use that phone?
Yeah, it still works.
What a blockbuster to drop on a Saturday night.
Shell shocked.
The biggest shock that I've ever seen covering the NBA all of these years.
The L in the Lakers stands for lucky and for Luka.
Action.
LA Laker Luka Doncic. Does that still sound a little bit weird to you?
A little bit, not much. I'm getting used to it.
Let's go back to the night that you were traded. Can you just take me through what you did that night?
Well, I was actually in the bed, you know. My TV wasn't working, so I was on iPad watching a movie, about to go to sleep. First thing I said, like, probably 3 times is April 1st.
What were you feeling in that moment?
Sadness, mostly. I was still in shock, like, crazy shock, and I felt like my heart was broken, honestly.
At guard, in his 7th season from Slovenia, number 77, Luka!
He's a man full of emotions tonight.
I've never seen a player have that type of emotion and then be able to turn around and have the game like you did.
45 for Doncic. Luka lunacy returns here to Dallas.
Honestly, I don't know either.
Where would you rank that in terms of your all-time performances?
I would say top 1 just because it was so special, you know, with the fans, with teammates, just being there. It was something I never seen in my life, and it was just special, you know, the love between me and the fans.
There have been, on your way out of Dallas, some pretty pointed criticisms of you on the floor, off of the floor, even about your body.
I mean, it's painful, depends how you take it. Mostly it came from Dallas, you know, so I just didn't want to talk back. But I don't really read that much stuff, you know, and just trying to focus on my journey.
General Manager Nico Harrison of the Dallas Mavericks, he had this closed-door, no cameras meeting with reporters. The reporter said, "You didn't believe that the team that went to the finals last year with Luka as a centerpiece could contend and continue to contend for championships." And Nico Harrison said, "I'll say this again, defense wins championships." What do you say to that?
It's just sad in the way he's talking right now. I never say anything bad about him, and I just want to move on. The fans, my ex-teammates, I always keep it hard. It's time for me to move on from that.
Have you spoken to Nico Harrison since you left Dallas?
No.
Have you spoken to him on the night that you were traded?
No.
Was your intention to finish your career in Dallas?
Of course. It's an easy question.
Loyalty is still a key tenet of who you are. Where does that loyalty go now? Does it transfer to the Los Angeles Lakers?
Of course. I mean, like I say, you know, loyalty is to the basketball first.
Staying in Los Angeles is what you want to do?
Yes.
LeBron has long called you one of his favorite players in the NBA. How has he reinforced that?
It's been great since the first day, you know. I mean, it's LeBron. It's not going to be easy. He's been letting me be me this whole time, and it's been amazing just to watch him and to play next to him.
Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it! What a shot!
The GIFs and memes and articles and clips on social media of you against Rudy Gobert start to be everywhere. What is it about this matchup that you love?
I think he's a great defender, you know, no matter who it is. I just like to go against centers. When you go against the best, you got to be at the top, so that's what I'm trying to do.
The Boston Celtics are champions of the NBA as they defeat the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games.
And oftentimes I talk to players who were there, and they spend the entire offseason with the faces of the players that beat them. How does that loss fuel this championship pursuit?
You've been there, you could have won, but you lost, so you want to be a champion. I mean, I want to be a champion, and that's all you can think about after you lose, and it was devastating.
Luka Magic on display in the purple and gold.
Does this team have what it takes?
Yes, I think so, yes. And it's going to take everything, every little detail, every possession is going to take everything.
We will have more from Luka Doncic coming up in just a little bit. Now, Shams Charania, I turn to you with some breaking news here out of the Los Angeles Lakers franchise.
Malika, the man that acquired Luka Doncic, brought him to the Lakers, was Rob Pelinka. Sources tell me he has reached an agreement on a multi-year contract extension with the Lakers. General manager, and now a new title of president of basketball operations as well. This is Obviously, a big moment for the Lakers, big moment for Rob Pelinka in terms of this offseason. Luka Doncic is eligible for a contract extension. And now he knows who his general manager and president will be for the next several years, who his head coach already is in J.J. Redick. So their leadership is aligned now. They're signed long term. And Luka Doncic will have his own decisions to make. But like he told you, his loyalty seems to be right now with the Lakers. We see the moves right there that Rob Pelinka has made, got Anthony Davis, and then Luka Doncic all these years later. They have flexibility now moving forward going into this offseason. They have draft picks. They have abilities to create space as well. So this Lakers team, it's not complete like Brian Windhorst has said this week, but they've made moves already, and they're going to continue to make moves potentially to get themselves even closer to a champion.
Rob Pelinka, now one of just a handful of front office executives that has the title of both general manager and the duties of president of basketball operations as well. And you have to imagine that bringing Luka Doncic to Los Angeles was a pretty big part of the decision-making in all of this, Brian.
I would imagine that was true. I think this is about as guaranteed to get a contract extension as about anything you could possibly have done for him in that job. And I would expect him to win Executive of the Year. If he does not win Executive of the Year, which is really one of the pettiest awards in the whole landscape, which is a different topic for a different day, if he doesn't win Executive of the Year, there should be an investigation. As one NBA general manager told me after that trade, the Lakers annihilated this trade deadline. Here you see the fruits of that result right here.
I think, you know, the Luka trade is clearly one of the big dominoes that impacted this extension here for Rob Pelinka. But to hear Luka reflect on that trade and to do so with so much candor and vulnerability, I really appreciated that. We're going to have more from our Luka Doncic conversation on NBA Countdown and Good Morning America. But Luka, to me, when I asked him questions, Udonis, about what was said about him on the way out, it seemed like nothing that was said could impact him because the trade was the ultimate betrayal. The trade was the ultimate action that hurt him, and now he has even more fuel headed into this postseason.
Yeah, I would advise Luka to use it. Use it. Whatever edge you can get. This league is savage. The great players around here, use it. I mean, take that and everything they said about you and prove them wrong. You know, if they said you're not in shape, make sure you're in the best shape possible. If they said you don't play defense, make sure that you get in the lab this summer and work on your defense, moving your feet, your mobility, all those different things. Use all those things that people said about you and prove them wrong. That's what majority of my career was built on. He's not tall enough. He's not fast enough. I used every single thing that I needed to get the edge that I had.
The most important thing from that, obviously the phone is fascinating. By the way, what's that phone worth?
7 figures.
I want to know, when did he throw the phone? Because I know he was calling over and over, is this trade true?
Yeah.
Is this real? Did this really happen?
He was calling on the iPad after having thrown the
But after which call did he throw the phone? We need to figure that out next, I think.
Okay, well, you're the man to figure that out. But his pledging that I mean, we know this the way things are going, but his pledging that he wants to be a Laker, the reason that's relevant is because he can sign a contract extension starting in August. And that was really a thing for the Lakers. They had to make sure this season went well, and it has. Obviously, the season isn't done yet. There's still some things that need to be accomplished. But Luka has fit in very well. Him talking about the Lakers like this is important, and he can back that up with signing his own extension now that he knows Rob Pelinka and J.J. Redick are there long-term as well.
That tenet of loyalty is not something that he has lost just because now he's with the Los Angeles Lakers. He said that it comes with him to Los Angeles. Let's preview.
I think this is going to be the best player in this series. He is 6'8", and he plays like he is 6'8". So let's get into it right now.
Roll the tape, Director Vanessa.
Right here, we get it in the pick and roll. We're in the high pick and roll. We set the screen high. He can shoot this clip at 36% three coming on the pull-up. So the big has to step up. He gets the big on his back, and he hits the guy in the pocket rolling to the basket. Real easy play because of the way he shoots the ball. Now this is what I want to look at. Being 6'8", I can clear the side. I can go at any matchup because of my size. We have 3 guys here in the paint. No problem. We go over all those guys. This is why I feel like Cade Cunningham is going to be the best player in this series. Whether it be in the high pick and roll, he's going to make you pay. Whether it be clearing the side, going one-on-one against smaller matchups, he's going to make you pay. And he shoots the 3 at 35.6% clip. So I think he will be the best player in this series.
UD, it's no secret that Cade Cunningham will be enemy number 1 in this series. Just check out this back page of today's New York Post. It says, ready, villain, and able. New York, be New Yorkin'. As always, we've been focusing a lot on the Pistons, though, ahead of their first playoff game since 2019. And rightfully so, their turnaround, it is historic. But I was listening to the incredible Brian Windhorst Hoop Collective podcast earlier. And, Brian, you had a little bit of a rallying cry here for New York faithful.
Everybody calm down, okay?
What would Perk say?
keep a cool booty.
There you go.
And I feel like I have to channel Perk here because, he's the mayor of New York. The Knicks have a lot going for them, okay? They won 51 games this year. I know that they played terribly against the teams in front of them. I got it. I'm not saying they're going to win the championship. Jalen Brunson is probably going to make All-NBA, and they had 51 wins but despite the fact he played the fewest games since he's been in New York. Karl Towns is probably going to make the All-NBA team, making it look like they may have indeed won that very important trade. OG Anunoby arguably had the best season of his career, backing up that big contract he got in the offseason. Josh Hart put up arguably the best numbers he's put up this season. Are they built out like some of these other top teams? No. But when they put this team together, they put this team together for a 2 or 3 year window. We are only in year 1 of that. Also, they are going into this series healthy. All the games that Mitchell Robinson missed during the season, all the games that Jalen Brunson missed towards this back half of the season, they're going to be ready to go. So it is not the end of the world. I'm hearing that like Tom Thibodeau is in some sort of trouble. I think that is just not fair. I think he's done a good job with this team. It is not an elite team, but it is a very good team that had a very good season.
Yeah.
Go back and look the last time the Knicks put together back-to-back 50-win seasons. It's going to take you a while to find it. Go back and look the last time the Knicks won playoff series in back-to-back years. You're going to have to go really far back. They have a great opportunity to do that. This is not a time to be down on the Knicks. It's a time to say that they can get better, but not think that they're like in the lottery or something.
I hear and respect UD's case for Cade Cunningham being the best player in this series. And Jalen Brunson has been there. He averaged over 32 points a game in the playoffs last season, and he had four 40-point games. The only person doing that consecutively, that puts him in the company of Michael Jordan. So this series, at least, let's keep an eye out. Tonight, though, we got the play-in tournament. It rolls on. The Western Conference 8th-place game between the Mavs and the Grizzlies. Coverage begins at 9:30 Eastern, and the winner gets to play the Thunder in the first round. So, UD, in honor of Cade's playoff debut, we thought we'd check out some highlights. A little top of the top.
Let's do it.
Brought to you
I'm
by
excited.
Johnsonville. We're going to start things off with Dwayne Wade's game winner in Miami against New Orleans in 2004.
I remember this one.
I'll bet you do.
This is when it first started. This is when the Flash first came. This was the beginning of the Dwayne Wade train.
Beginning of that season, the third deck was closed off in Miami. By the end of the year, it was like, oh my God, this might be a championship team in a few years.
Yeah.
Only year he played the point guard. He didn't want to pass no more after that year. He didn't want to pass no more after that season.
Yeah, then Shaq showed up.
Next up, Trae Young's instant classic with his game winner against the Knicks in the Garden. I know we just spent some time pumping up the New York Knicks, but we had to show this highlight. It was a heck of a debut.
Yeah, this team wasn't that good. This Knicks team is much better.
Yeah, it's a different era. But if we're showing Derrick Rose on this side of the highlight,